What is up, potato chips? Welcome back to ciNATEmatic. You have many choices in online film critics and movie fans, so thank you very much for choosing me. For no particular reason, I thought it would be fun to talk about Troy from 2004 today, a movie that I had just recently watched for the first time. Again, for no particular reason. I will not review that other film. Troy from 2004, or from 2007, considering I watched the director's cut, doesn't masquerade as trying to be exactly that thing. It doesn't call itself the Illiad, it doesn't call itself the Odyssey, it calls itself Troy, allowing for some creative liberty. But despite that, it also does try to get what people from these geographical locations and points in history would look like accurately, and matches them to several ancient paintings from history. It also matches them just to the blank reference that they are in fact Greek people. You know, I'm mentioning all this again for no particular reason, but stuff like this matters when you're adapting historical myth and legends from specific cultures. And at the very least, if you don't try, it takes you out of the illusion. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, Troy 2004 is essentially the story of the Trojan War from its beginning to its end. It begins with the brothers Paris and Hector, who hail from the city of Troy in Sparta, where Paris and Helen kind of have their sneaky link, so to speak, but they're truly in love. So Paris in turn risks everything, smuggling her out of there to become his wife. He essentially steals her from the king of Sparta, or frees her from her horrible position that she's stuck there in. This is the catalyst of the Trojan War. The war began over this woman. She is said to be the most beautiful woman in all of history, in all of literature. I mean, that's like a tough feat, and let me tell you, they cast somebody perfectly to convey this. This is indeed the woman whose face launched 1,000 ships. This is great casting. Diane Kruger is a perfect Helen of Troy. Now, Orlando Bloom and Eric Bana play the brothers, Paris and Hector. Their dynamic is fun to watch, it's pretty believable, and it's just, I don't know, it's ancient times, but it's realistic to how brothers react. He's like, you got me into this war, and it's like, oh, you don't have to help me fight it, and the older brother's like, well, of course I do. So the older brother's looking out for his little brother, and there's many scenes of this, even one where it's a 1v1 between Paris and Helen's husband from Sparta. Brad Pitt plays Achilles, and Rose Byrne plays Eric Bana's cousin, aka Brad Pitt's love interest, whose name I will not attempt. I don't care how many times they said it. The sets in this movie are of an immense scale. Its pacing and these sweeping shots and the setting, it reminded me a lot of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and you don't see that craftsmanship or that scale anymore. And the color grading in this film isn't afraid to actually look vibrant, which you also don't see a lot of that anymore anywhere. Not to say that it's non-existent with the upcoming Hunger Games prequel. This movie has some pretty gripping edge of your seat dynamics. Like, you really feel for Eric Bana and his wife. You really are kind of biting your nails around Paris and Helen, hoping that it was worth it. You're confused but intrigued between Brad Pitt and Rose Byrne. Like, will this be something that is good, or will this be something that I'll probably not want to see? And watching all of this unfold within this extreme setting and through these battles just makes for a very entertaining watch. Again, yes, it does take some liberties, but it doesn't call itself specifically either of those stories, the Iliad or the Odyssey. And where it does take inspiration from, it's from stuff from that same time period and from other ancient Greek poems. So it still has a respect for what it's adapting and where it is adapting it from. Unlike something else. I mean, what? Overall, I'd probably have to give this movie a 4 out of 5 stars. The lack of that last star are because of some of these changes to the source material, as well as some dialogue choices, but honestly, I can't think too much to diss it on. Or should I say to Odyssey it on. Have you guys seen Troy from 2004? Or its director's cut, which is the one that I watched from 2007, which is apparently drastically different from the 2004 version? Make sure to let me know your thoughts and takes inside on all this in the comments below, as I look forward to hearing them. What are your thoughts on the new Odyssey, I guess? Maybe I will review Immortals next. That is another one that I've been wanting to check out. Don't forget to hit that like and follow button if you enjoyed this video, as it really does help out the channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching ciNATEmatic.